Hey, mate. Good morning. Well, good morning here in Perth. It is 8:22 a.m. What am I? Yeah, going good. I got to go to the vet very shortly. One of the dogs has to get a lump tested on her back of her neck, so just going to do that very shortly. Just wanted to trade the open and see if there's anything moving. So far, it's a little bit quiet. Lots of stuff. Couple of coins in the USD pairs moving, but nothing great so far. Uh, XTZ, I've got XTZ here. It's as I just wrote in uh, somewhere, I wrote it here somewhere. Bloody hell, don't know where I wrote that now. Um, Completely lost it. These apexes are all getting filled in the Altcoin TA. They're all getting filled, as you can see here, one by one. And if you look at this here, it almost looks like XTZ. Okay, where you're just consolidating here under the white 100 moving average, and eventually you just get that pop, that spring, and if you're not in it, you're going to miss it. It's fast, it's furious. It happened in the space of about 3 or 4 minutes. Um, so with that in mind, you can see here that this is almost identical. XTZ is it's under the white 100 moving average and just consolidating. You know, it's kind of one of those where you just have to buy and kind of hope that we're not going to roll over and consolidate here and then get that pop. Just get that pop straight up, and you can see that this would be up to the red 200. It's almost a 20% bounce. Now it's not going to do all that in one move, but you know, from this point to the red 200, it's about that 15 to 20%, depending on how long this consolidates for. But you can see it's almost identical in a way if you just look at it there and see the structure of that. Um, so you know, it's just a matter of kind of buying a little bit here and seeing if we get that pop back up. If, for example, if you bought a half a position here or a quarter of a position, whatever, and we got that move, any dip back down, you could actually average into your original position. So you can start small, and if it does get that pop, you can add then on a dip back down, say into this point of control here, for example. That's if you get the pop up, of course. So that's been the case. This has been the case for all of these alts very recently, and it's just hard to catch them unless you're in. It's very hard to catch them. So here's another one here. Our mate here just posted. It's another one, and it's Dent 4 hours, and it looks good. And where is the reaction thing on this? Um, so you asked for another coin. Where? Okay, banned. Okay. Anyway, so that's the case here. I mean, it just means buying a little bit or averaging in on a bit of a dip here and then seeing if you can get that pop up. And then again, managing your position, wait for a bit of a dip off of this and maybe add again or whatever on a dip and see if you can average into a position and see if we can actually run a bit further higher, as long as the market's going to hold up, of course. Okay, so one thing I should say that larger coins kind of did lag behind a little bit. So XTZ obviously didn't pump yet. The smaller coins all pumped first. Um, yeah, just thought I would mention that. But you know, they should, in theory, have their day in the sun. The larger coins can take a bit longer to move. Um, Band here, so band is almost the same, you know, and maybe it might just kind of arrange a little bit here before popping up. But in theory, you know, adding in on a position somewhere, didn't draw that very well, but it's down 1.76% on the day. You know, in theory, adding in here, if it does dip a little bit, the way the market has been going so far, that this has been a good area to start to accumulate, and one by one they've all been popping off. Like later on in the day when Asia closes, a few hours time, maybe that dip could be over, and maybe these could then pop up, and you can see where the target is here. It's clear as day. I mean, you've got your point of control, and you've got your red 200 here. So I like this as well. Like I like both of these. I think both of these are going to go, but it just at this point it just kind of needs some patience. And in theory, as long as there's no major breakdowns in this market, if we see a major breakdown, it's probably good to get out ASAP. Um, that's the tricky point at this tricky thing at this moment in time. You just kind of have to watch it, and hopefully these can all pop up. They've all been popping one by one in the capital rotation almost, and so I'm actually tempted to buy a little bit of band right here. Just nibble into it. If it dips, I'll nibble again, and see if it can kind of get something like this sort of action back up. Maybe it needs to do a retrace of this or whatever. Maybe it needs to come back into the golden pocket or whatever down in here and then pop back up. But I'm very tempted to just nibble here as well. I've actually got a lot of positions. I've been nibbling on a lot of these apexes. I haven't shared them all in the group, but I did share the coins, but I didn't say I bought them all because I don't want to say I'm nibbling into all of them. I did mention I bought a few of them. But again, last thing here, you can see that this RSI, we have finally broke out into bullish territory. Now, where am I moving that to? Yeah. So on a bullish move, sometimes you get a dip back to the 50 or maybe even the 47 level, and then it likes to come off that. So if there's a little bit of dip in RSI here, it might be then time to nibble into this. If you don't mind getting in a little bit early, you could nibble a small bit here and try and build a little bit of a position before it bounces up. Overall, I like these. I think that they all should pop up in theory. Of course, Bitcoin needs to play ball.